has an office and the Highway Patrol has an office. There's 4 offices there. Basically, through the grapevine, I've heard that you're charging $1,000 for Highway Patrol, $1,000 for BCI. I didn't come up with it, so I went and did some square footages, and I figured what we would give you with $1,000 for that office, and then the hallway is divided into 2 stanchions. Deputies have 2, and we have 2, correct? Okay?
And I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going?
Right across from you.
Right across, in the hallway, basically. It was a hallway when I left.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little.
Yeah. We are splitting the cost of the copy machine, correct, Karen? Did we not split half of the cost of the copy machine?
That was years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And we just split the camera in one of the rooms, correct?
In the internet room.
Hopefully.
Yeah, the hidden camera there.
Mm-hmm.
So what a few of the council members and me included came up with is, if we gave you $1,000 to the office and $1,000 to the outside part, and are splitting up some of the costs like that, I mean, you usually rent by square foot. You understand what I'm saying? And we're giving $1,000 for the highway over and above what everybody else has. And I realize that we do use it. But, well, and I
How many
do
days you gotta run in and out on shift? You know what I'm saying, you know?
I understand completely, but
You're using our conference room, aren't you?
everybody is.
Yeah.
BCI does too.
I
And
know.
it's a great room, don't get me wrong.
And I think our dispatch does work for your officers, don't you?
Well,
Paperwork.
we do, well, I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah,
We'll investigate that while you're investigating.
okay, well, but we give 26,000 for that, correct? A year?
Yeah.
Okay. And we go back, all I'm here for, guys, is I want to start getting along.
So do we.
And I can see, 5.5 years, one of the reasons I got on was, Dwayne, I think you and I talked, I wanted this to work. There's some personnel that haven't made it work, okay? And we all know that, but I'm not going to sit here and say names. I'm only here to cooperate, because you know what, Mike, you guys, everybody but you gets elected by the city. I mean, you really do. 36% are rural people. There's 4,500 people in this county, 900 of them are in your district, correct? So that leaves the rest of them, basically, there's only 700 people left over in the outside to elect you people here. You know what I mean? You're representing everybody but you. Everybody but you, the rest of you are elected just like I am. We're all one, okay? You do a wonderful job on your roads out there and stuff like that, but remember, the people, your constituents, are the same ones that elected me to the city council. You go, where'd you go campaigning, Mike?
I don't.
Okay, you
Mike's in
know.
campaign, he's never had anything in campaign.
And I wish Mike Brozart was here, because he's in my district, and he won in my district. We can't go back to the Pius Krenzel era and just keep fighting guys. We're all one. And I know that, you know, you guys are above the city, don't get me wrong. You can take that any day of the year, I don't care. But when we did this jail, Dwayne and I worked quite handedly, one-on-one, in making that thing work. And I do remember that USDA, correct?
Yeah.
Said, you guys are building a jail here and you're getting an LEC for nothing. And they came back to us and made us put money into it, $100,000 apiece. The one time I remember you telling me. Now I know you guys have put a lot more money into that, but we did help pay for this LEC at one time. The city people that elected you do have some money into this facility. And I realize it went bankrupt or whatever, or closed down, and that stuff washes away, but most of the people in the city don't forget that. You know what I mean? When it was given, thank God it was given to a political subdivision of the city called the JDA. It saved this facility for us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's a great thing because we bought it down for about $5 million. Okay. And so what I'm trying to say is that we have an investment here just like you do. Now, my first opinion was it should be a county jail. You don't see too many city jails around here, folks. a county jail because the city is in the county. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm glad you guys took it over. But what I don't like is coming back here and just saying, okay, we want $14,200. What you've got to realize is that we are taxed by Chelsea's office, okay? And do you know how we're taxed? The city gives the county a lot of money, and we have to. We have to support social services just like every other city in the state. But there are also things that come into there that play the mill levies that we help pay. And if you say we don't give enough, it's not my fault. And Dave, if you made the motion, it's not your fault. You aren't God, I'm not God. We can't just say, this is what we pay. We take the valuation of the county. The city is valued at a certain point, and that's what we pay. Is that correct, Chelsea?
You guys, your valuation is what your budgets are based on your valuation. The county is the entire county, which includes the valuation of the
Okay,
city.
so Dave Migler and Neil Lotta do not set that.
Valuation.
Very good. Okay, and people need to know that somebody's saying we are paying our fair share. And it's not you and I, it's not us, it's probably her office. Okay? And so, I'm thinking that if we give you $2,000 for this situation, it's gonna help pay electricity and the heat, okay? We already give you $26,000 to help in dispatching. Now, I'd actually like to get on the LEC board with you guys and go through some of this stuff, but that's not up to me to decide. 5.5 years, all I wanted to do was get along with the county, okay? It really is. But you can't get along until you get all the facts out, and I don't know all the facts. Do I think we should help pay electricity and heat? Absolutely. Do I think we should pay $14,000 a year to rent that facility when the two people next to us are only paying $1,000? I think that's a little bit out of order. That's my personal opinion as a city council member. We do give you the mill levies and money and do help support this facility. I don't want to.
We do what?
Well, we had the 10 mills before where we supported the LEC directly. And I realize that we've been arguing about paying prisoners and everything else, and that's always been that way. Okay. But going out there and looking at a square footage price for rent, I think I'm as fair as we can get. If we can sit down later and figure something out, I would have to get appointed to the LEC board. Okay.
But you do think the 26,000 is a little low or not?
Dwayne, I don't have the facts to make that answer.
Okay.
I'm not on the LEC board.
Okay.
If I was on the LEC board, we probably could coordinate there. Because there is nothing personal here, guys.
No,
I don't ever want this to be personal.
no, I don't think we are. I mean.
The knowledge that I had come up with on the mill levies and stuff like that, I think 14,000 is exaggerated, okay? I realize we use it, but we are paying it. You understand what I'm saying?
A small one.
We are paying 81,000 in a mill levy from the city taxpayers, your constituents. And
So
so,
it's a total of about
107 about,
107,000.
you know, you gotta remember when you guys wanted this jail, that it was a profitable situation and it was a great thing to do. Your mouths were watering too, okay? I was happy, because the JDA should not have been involved, but thank God it's saved it, so let's leave it at that.
But you know, there'd be a time where we're gonna struggle out there. You know?
Absolutely.
So, you know, and
I'm
then,
not saying that.
so then
You
you guys
did
are
struggle.
probably up big time
You
then?
did struggle.
Yeah, you darn.
And now you come back to us at the wrong time, is
Yeah.
really what this
So if we'd
is.
have done that right away, you'd been fine with it.
Well, we were paying more.
No,
weren't we?
answer my question. If we'd have come back right away and say we're struggling, you'd have been fine with it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would have, personally.
I don't know why you wouldn't be now then.
Well, you're struggling now?
Well, we're not, you know, we're not making big money.
We're not
I mean,
talking,
things can change quick.
this didn't turn into a cash cow. This place wasn't put there to be a cash
No,
cow.
no, absolutely.
So that, your
But
big
it-
money,
But it could happen when we gotta start, okay, we need money to do this.
and I understand that, but right now, it's just the wrong time. We raised our taxes 20%. It's the wrong time to ask us. We're playing catch up.
So next year will be the right time then?
I don't know.
No.
How do you know?
That's just it.
We don't
know, so we thought this was a
So
good
why
time.
don't we start working together better?
Well, I think we tried pretty hard.
I'm just saying, we have to work together. We're all one. You guys are elected the same place as everybody else here. And I only got 2.5 years left, and I'll be done. 2 terms is long enough. But what I don't want, and I came here and asked the city council for the right, so that you don't keep sending us a bill and you know, have Mike Rayner keep sending us a bill. I want to get this down and go forward, okay?
But wasn't it approved at your meeting?
No, it was approved to put it in the budget. Budgets can always be changed.
What percentage of the tax money that comes from the city and what percentage comes from the land?
25%.
We were working on 30 on the last year, but that may change. 30 was really close. It was less and it's went up. We pay well over 30, I shouldn't say well over, around plus or minus 30% of our taxes, just like a township would, goes directly to the county.
30%.
30% of our taxes.
No, but what I'm saying is the total tax that the county receives, how much is it from land tax and how much is it from house?
Residential.
Huh?
Residential.
Residential, yeah.
I couldn't answer
I don't know either.
I'd have to figure.
that. Karen can pull that one off the table.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't, but I mean, I'm just, is it 50/50 or is it?
Let's see, Mike, this is the way things should work, is we should have these numbers, and that's what I say about facts. We can't just pull it out of the sky and say this sounds good.
I mean, you know, an average quarter land is $1,000 a year tax, so.
And the valuations went up, like Chelsea says, the valuations went up. And NDSU sets that, you guys don't even set that.
How many quarter sections are there in the county?
Well, if
There's
30 sections.
6 in each one.
680. Yeah. Well,
30
county
sections,
sections.
so that's 4 times 30. Right?
What's that?
At 120.
120.
No, I can't be right.
Oh, 30, I mean, there's 640, then you take that times 36, and that times 30.
Oh,
There's a 36 sections in
Now
a,
you're on track.
in a township.
But it's not all taxed the same either. Some is farmland, some is pasture land.
what's that?
Some is farmland, some is pasture land. Some
Yeah,
are all
I know, I'm
taxed the
just
same.
saying that.
Some is in the.
I would average it out to about $800 a quarter.
You know, a few years ago, and Dwayne, correct me if I'm wrong, and Mike, when the mayor was the head of the LEC, didn't we revamp the whole thing? We went through it piece by piece by piece, right? And then we come up with a rent, right? For the place.
Which mayor?
Arlen, when he was chairman of the
Oh,
LEC.
which mayor?
Arlen Guys.
Arlen, okay.
Remember
He was a
that?
councilman.
Well, he was chairman of out there, right?
No, when we, on our LEC board,
Oh,
we got an LEC board,
he-
remember?
Okay, he
went
was
step
on
by
there, maybe
step.
not as mayor.
No,
Right,
no,
okay,
but
that's-
as a council.
That's what this
Yeah,
is, okay.
yeah.
No.
I mean, as representing the
I
city.
wasn't on the board.
Remember, we dissected every one, remember that, Karen? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And we come up with a rent to be paid, right, Karen?
There's a thing in the agreement that says if the board feels they want to include rent, they had to have it to them by
Such and
August or
such, yeah.
something. It's in there.
The LEC board.
Yeah, and that was signed by the city council. So that's kind of what we felt now was the time, because it was 1 month, we were down there, and you know, the place is open, we're gonna start needing more repairs too, and this would help offset some of that, that's kind of what we felt, you know, so.
So,
I mean, we didn't just pull this off, we kind of talked about it last year, a year ago, and we decided to leave it, but this year we just thought maybe it was a good time. We didn't know that you guys, you know, I don't know, in the position you are now, you know what I'm saying, but it's just something we felt we should have done a while ago, we procrastinated, and then now we figured it was. No, I guess it wasn't, you know, but we do have an LEC agreement. I bet if you pull it up, Karen, you'll see the signatures on there, you know, so.
It's in-
It was an
you
agreement,
told me.
and it was dissected completely. When Arlen was chairman that time, we went step by step. We changed an awful lot of things, Neil.
So
An
that
awful lot
that
of
is
things.
available for my knowledge.
Yeah,
You should
absolutely.
have a copy.
Yeah.
City Hall.
City Hall.
Yeah.
And dated how far back?
Oh, just a couple years ago.
It's probably a year old, maybe
Yeah.
2 years at tops.
Okay, and so that has not been updated or looked at, it was just agreed for how long?
Oh, we updated it.
No, was it good for how long, or was it just continuous?
It's continuous, but,
That's on that LEC, yeah.
I mean, now, I mean, I think you guys are getting the jail and the LEC kind of mixed up.
I never do. I know exactly the difference.
But this was LEC.
Because now the LEC or the dispatch, I'm gonna say dispatch instead of LEC, are now considered part of your general fund, so to me, I don't know if
I
it's.
understand, but you still have to have 10 mils to run it, or that amount of money. You're still gonna have to take that amount of money to keep it running.
Well, it's all considered part of the general fund, so we could actually have 60 mils in our general fund to run it,
Right.
to run everything.
That's a new 2144 bill. And so, we're still paying, like I said, it worked out at 10 mils, $81,000 that we contributed back when I started thinking about this. You know what I mean?
But, you know, to say again, I'm just looking at our LEC agreement, and that's where this rent comes out of, our LEC agreement.
So you made the motion to do that with the LEC board? Or you went through the LEC board, or did you just go through the county commissioners?
It was the
It's up to our
LEC board,
discretion.
and then it went to the commissioners, and it also went to city council.
Yeah.
So who, I'll have to read that agreement.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna read it now.
Well, you guys got a copy.
I will study it.
Sure.
See there, I mean, LEC makes these motions, then it comes here and it
And
goes
to the
there.
city.
Okay. So the rent agreement was made by the LEC, presented to you.
Which is representation from the city. Terry Wentz is on there, Neil's on there, I mean, not Neil,
Yeah.
the mayor.
Jim Hopper.
and
Jim Offer,
Yeah,
And then it went back to those prospective boards where they agreed and signed off.
Okay, I thought the motion was made here at this table and not at the LEC board to raise the rent.
That
Well,
was
to raise the rent, but in that agreement, it says,
to us.
there's things in there, a line item about the rent in that
But
agreement.
doesn't the LEC have to send that to you and to the city? The LEC board should do that, shouldn't it?
Well, it was discussed.
I think,
Okay, this is where the communications aren't working out. You know what I mean? Because if that was the case, that the LEC board, with representation from the county and the city, did make that agreement,
well, we should just read it over first and then.
yes, we should.
but you know, they did pay it, then we decided to
Exactly.
take it off.
So, and we didn't go to the LEC for that, we did it as a commission,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
So now, as a commission, we decided.
I'd like to see better paper trails.
Yeah, we took it off and we said, as long as the jail's making money, we wouldn't charge rent.
And there again, Karen, you're going to LEC to jail. And so the jail was gonna support that at that point, if that was the case. To me, they're two separate entities, but
Yeah.
have you taken money out of the jail this year? You moved $100,000 out of the jail fund into your general fund, I think, at least once.
Long time
correct?
ago.
Yeah, we did it.
It's coming.
And so- No, yeah, it's mine, it's yours.
That benefits everybody.
I'm in the county, I understand.
Yeah, and you know, when we don't charge for our prisoners, that benefits everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it
No, I
does.
realize that.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that as long as it's benefiting the taxpayers. And that's the way it was always
So
said.
that's why we're trying to look at it.
Yeah.
Cause that was 20,000 a month.
Yeah,
Before, it's in the
that's
30s.
quite expensive.
Yeah, 28,000, I know, I've seen.
But anyway, I'd like you guys to accept this proposal and study this situation a little more and get a little more involved. Because, you know, you've got the DCI and you've got the highway department, or the highway patrol there. And we are paying more than them just by sharing some costs in there. And I have no problem with the $26,000 for dispatching. I have no problem with $81,000 out of the mill levy. Okay, which we don't have anymore now. But I have no problem supplementing the heat and the operations of it either. When we have to recarpet that, are we gonna go back to the ECI and the highway patrol, and the city and the county to help pay for that, or how are we gonna do that? We need a direction. I don't think the BCI and the highway patrol are gonna pay any more. We should be lucky to be getting 1,000 from them.
Well.
We want them here,
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Yeah,
and we want to be out there also. I mean,
and you couldn't build a place and have it on your own, you know that.
Yeah, you
we
got,
could go out to the fire hall and take that front office. I don't want that to happen.
You need a dispatch, 24-hour dispatch?
Yeah, there's too many things going into this, there's no doubt about it. But
it would be foolish, it would
Be foolish.
on everybody's
Yeah.
part to try.
I think, you know, I don't think you guys are gonna throw us out because we are contributing a lot. Your taxpayers find that out, that your constituents that voted for you guys, I don't think Dave's gonna be able to stand up to you guys if that comes back and has repercussions. We want to be there. We are paying a lot of money for this, okay? Our police budget is $425,000 a year, okay? We don't need to add this on to that. I think your sheriff's is probably 250,000. We are providing 24/7 here. I mean, we're already paying a lot of money for law enforcement, including the LEC. And I hope you guys appreciate that.
Well, right now, this jail's making some money, but okay, so down the road, like you said, they start losing money, then what?
Then we
It
have to
falls on
sit
the
down.
county,
Falls on the county,
Oh, yeah.
The county is who?
everybody.
everybody.
It's us. That's
But
right.
it will go up to, I mean,
But
if the county doesn't receive the money now for rent, I mean, it probably isn't an issue right now, but if we need more money next year, then our general mills will just go up because now it's part of the general fund.
And you're gonna, everybody's
You'll
gonna
be
pay
paying for it
more
anyway.
But we'll be paying our fair share still at that point if you raise the general, because we're paying 30% of it, you know. It is set up that we do pay our fair share. And if we can't get along, we can't get along,
Well,
That is
I
my
can't say
goal.
I can't.
but that is my goal in the next 2.5 years, is to become one, okay? Because this has
You
gone
mean-
on too long.
Become one.
The county and the city
The
getting
sheriff.
along completely.
No, yeah, that, but would you ever put the law enforcement together? Is that something?
We've tried,
Contract
we've
policing.
tried that, Neil. We've tried that. When Graber resigned, I brought it up in the LEC.
Yeah.
Now's the time we could go with one. City of Rugby didn't want to hear nothing about it. So I told us that.
It's a control situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's simple as that.
Absolutely, that's what
Yeah.
I'm glad you said.
Oh, I agree 100%, it always has been. You need a very good sheriff. Sheriff Lundy and Botman did this for years. It worked out really good. You need a sheriff that's top notch to do that.
So you're saying how
Do you have any comment? No, I'm waiting for your reply on this.
Well,
Well, absolutely.
And remember, folks, this is an elected position. Anybody can get elected to be sheriff if they push right now.
But they get their votes from the city also, it's just
Right.
like you were saying, now, your
Absolutely.
city constituents vote for their sheriff.
You better believe it.
Okay.
They elected Josh. The
Yeah.
city elected Josh. We know that.
No, absolutely.
Is it something, you know, the scary thing is if Josh went to work for the FBI and we had to have somebody come in and we got a certain person or whatever, what would happen? You can't control the sheriff. He's
But
elected.
see, that's a what if again, Neil. That's a what
He's
if.
elected.
Yeah, I know, but it's a, you know.
So.
But I mean,
Well-
we have tried several different things,
With our
and then we've always got shut down.
With our budget right now of
Yeah, but
$425,000,
this wasn't your budget back when we tried to
I
do
would
this.
love to give that to you guys.
But Neil, your budget was good when we tried to do this.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
I don't know anything
just
about that.
because your budget's a little tough now doesn't mean we should suffer.
Our budget isn't tough. It's we're
It is.
trying to
It's
build
tough.
up some reserves.
Yeah.
We have-
Which you had,
We don't have enough reserves.
which you had.
That's right, yeah. I want to chip seal the city without taxing the people. Okay? It's worked as an infrastructure piggy bank.
And the taxes, I mean, because you're going up 20%, doesn't mean your taxes are gonna go up that much.
No.
Because someone had me figure out, I mean, I don't have the certifications yet from the state, but on one particular home in Rugby, it was going up $20, and she goes, well, what's my special assessments? Well, that went down, so it was a wash, so there's no increase at all.
I know, it just doesn't sound good. It gets put in the paper, and you know it.
Yeah.
But
You
you know,
guys did it last
last
year.
year, the last 2 years we were there, you guys didn't feel sorry for us and say, hey, we gotta start paying rent.
When you pay for that out of, you know, I mean, your taxes went up because of that in 911 last year. You know what I mean? Nobody complains about you because they all live in the city. They don't realize they're paying 30% of their taxes. Most people do not know that. Okay? But I don't want to take up any of your time, I just want to take this proposal and see. how
Well,
we can
yours
react.
is the 2,000, right?
I would like to pay $2,000.
Not 5.
No. Double of what BCI and the other people pay. And I did get a motion last night from the city council to represent that.
Okay.
Feelings here, maybe you're gonna do some of this.
Galen, no one else here, he came earlier.
What's up?
You know, over there, that camera can see you.
Yeah, get a smile.
Live. How are you?
I'm just fine. I'm representing the city here.
Okay.
We'd ask them for 12,000,
14.
$14,200.
and he come back with $2,000.
The sheriff pays it, has an office, the chief, the BCI, and fire patrol. We're going on square footages of office rent, as I think what that proposal was. These are $1,000 on the two west ends, fire patrol and the BCI. My proposal is to get $1,000 for the office and $1,000 for the hallway that we use, and still go along with splitting the cost to what?
Per month?
Not a year. Because these guys are a year. These aren't paying $1,000 a month either. These are paying that. We split the cost of the cameras, which was, I think, last month, if I'm not mistaken, and we have split the cost of the copy machine. We also give $26,000 a year for dispatch. We also give $81,000 a year and a 10% mill levy. Which now is in 2144, has changed that into the general fund, but we're still going to be contributing that much money. As a taxpayer, 30% of your taxes have been going to the county. It doesn't just pay your salary, it goes all over. Okay? And so my proposal was to be equal to what everybody else is paying to get to this point.
So
When
you're-
Galen and I brought up the LEC agreement, remember that, where they agreed to pay?
Well, they had been paying rent, they've been paying rent for several years, I don't recall the exact amount they
It
were
was
paying.
And we didn't-
$11.25 a month.
About 2,500 a month?
Yeah.
$11.25 a month.
11.25 a month is what was being paid.
The county and the city each paid.
Does the county
And
pay
found that
now?
was equitable.
County
It's our facility, so we can write it out to ourselves if we want us to.
It's our facility too, we are part of the county, and I understand that completely.
Right, there's a separate police department, you've got a separate population base, and you've got separate officers, and you have separate staffing issues, and you have separate facilities, and it makes sense. I'm all 100% in favor of keeping law enforcement combined. There's a lot of history, and, you know, it would be reasonable for the city to contribute something for the housing, their officers, and the staff out there.
And I'm proposing an equal situation to what the Highway Patrol and BCI pay. Only I'm doubling that because of the hallway that we use.
There's also providing 24-hour dispatching for the use of the police officers right now.
And we do
That
pay 26.
wouldn't be there if they weren't under the same road.
But
so-
$26,000.
I know, but if you had a police department in a separate facility.
Oh, no, I do not want a separate facility.
But-
Nobody does.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying, there's some equities there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, Mayor, you know, if we wanted to go through the whole history from the last 15 years, we'd be here for
That's right.
about 2 hours.
Yes.
And then you'd still be right at the same point we're at right
Mhm.
now. So it would be fair for them to contribute something. It would also be fair, I think, part of the equities in the past, and the reason this is being brought up, is because the city is contributing about 26,000, whatever the amount is, towards the dispatching center, which doesn't even pay for the cost of one person. So, I mean, if the city weren't there and we're hiring their own person for providing dispatching, for providing services, for providing housing, and all of those things. So we've basically been able to work those things out in the past. I would hope we can work it out in the future as well. the reason I think the rent had been paid, the $11.25 per month had been paid in the past, that was an equitable amount in the past. And now you're suggesting $2,000 a year?
It was completely
$170
dropped.
a month.
$2,000 a year, whatever that works out, $170 a month.
It was completely dropped by the county commissioners when the jail was making good
But
money.
there are both fixed and operating costs, that it would be fair. I'm not suggesting that there's not even a motion on the table, so I don't want
No, no.
Keep on
What about $81,000 that we contributed, the city taxpayers pay?
to, well, I came in here without any advance notice that you were
All
here.
right. They asked
And,
you.
and so you're here, you're prepared to give a dialogue on the matter, and I just came in,
Okay.
without any notice. If you want me to debate the issue, we can have a.
I don't want to debate you.
Okay.
You're much better at debating than I'll
I don't
ever
know
be.
about that, but
But
the
when you have
point
the
is that
facts,
there's facilities and services that the city of Rugby and the police should be paying a reasonable amount for. And for the last few years, they have paid zero for housing officers out of law enforcement centers.
Exactly.
Central 9.
And that's why I suggest at least paying the heating and electricity of $2,000. If rent is by square footage, the BCI and the highway patrol, are we subsidizing their rent?
To have the benefits, my personal opinion, and I do not speak for the council, for the Board of Commissioners, is that to have the benefits and the expertise for training, for backup, for serious cases, to have both BCI and highway patrol here, I would offer that space. If it were my building, I would offer that them for nothing,
And I would too.
because of the benefits that we have to have them here. So I don't think it's fair to compare 5 officers in the police department to those 2 state officials that provide a lot of benefits to this community. We're very, very lucky in this community to have the law enforcement that we have with BCI and highway patrol.
But you gotta realize that we offer 24/7 law enforcement also. Okay, the city is 24/7, staffed completely. And so the constituents that elected you and everybody here except Dave are benefiting from this. Do you understand that?
Well, I understand it 100%, but there are most towns that have a police department. The larger towns will actually have their own building, pay their own heat, pay their own salary, pay their own dispatching, pay their own clerical staff, which I'm glad we don't do that here. But we can't forget that it costs something for those things, for those services, and for those people. And when the city, out of the city tax dollars, is not paying for even one dispatcher, it doesn't sometimes seem equitable to some of the rural taxpayers. And I live in the city.
The LEC gets $81,000 a year, plus 26 comes to 107,000.
But most of that money would be paid to the county, whether or not the police department was in the same offices as the county.
It's an
If
LEC
the
bill.
county, if we have to have the sheriff's office and the building and all that taken care of, that will be levied across the boards to
Absolutely.
the county, regardless of whether the city contributes anything. I mean, the city taxpayers would still be paying that amount. If you had a different building, different officers, different services, personnel to service the police department, there would still be the taxpayers of the city paying that in. So it's good that we'll work this together. Perhaps it would be more fair to say, look at the population base, and we look at